Gosh, I'm tired today. It's too early for that. My teeth are clean. Do they look clean? I'm in pain. That's the face of a guilty dog. Why do we have to do this? I literally have protein powder on my boob and face.
It's game time and I'm up one. Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm rich.
To our winner, Julia, Rene.
Good morning. Gosh, I'm tired today. Welcome back to another episode of the Prep Diaries series. If you're new here, my name is Julia Rene. I'm an IFBB Wellness Pro, and we are prepping for a bodybuilding show. Today is my check-in day with Coach. So as you saw, we did our weigh-in, did a little physique update, and I was reading my book because I'm still reading The Power of the Subconscious Mind. First of all, today I'm gonna take you throughout my day. We're gonna wait for my coach to give feedback and check-in. I got my check-in in by 5:30 a.m. So usually the earlier that I get it in, the earlier that I get a response back. So today, unfortunately, I have a dentist appointment. I have some client calls. And I'll be working out with my new trainer. So in a past video, I was telling you guys that I have my bodybuilding coach, and then I hired a personal trainer to train me once a week at my gym, and he is awesome. So I'm gonna take you through that workout with him later today too. But I wanted to read you guys something from my book because this morning when I weighed in, like my body is just kind of stalling and a little bit, it's been stuck for like 2 weeks. And I know something that a lot of my clients struggle with, and I do too, is like being super focused on the scale. And with bodybuilding especially, and regular lifestyle, one thing that I teach to my clients is that the scale doesn't show everything. It doesn't show the muscle you're building. It doesn't show when you're losing body fat. It's just one of many measures. And I need to be taking my own advice because it affects me a lot too. And of course I don't like that that's the case, but there's sometimes where like the scale doesn't really move and I don't really know, like, and it makes you feel like all of the work that you put in is not doing anything, and that you're not doing a good job, and then you start to spiral. And it was just crazy because I came down, I was feeling like, and it's just wild how something that small can shift your mood. Like I woke up and I was in a pretty good mood, I was like, I'm so proud of myself. I woke up at 5 a.m., I snoozed my alarm, made my bed, and then pulled the scale out, and then my body was just kind of stalling, and I was like looking at my body and I was like, starting to like be upset about it. And then it's immediately my mind just kind of shifted from having like a good day to this number on the scale affecting my whole day. And I'm reading this book, of course, and of course the exact thing that I needed to hear was right here. So the first part that I read, because this is the chapter Survival and Creation, And it's talking about like how we have our fear response is different than like animals. So the way that I can describe it is like when a deer is triggered by maybe hit like a survival mode where like something is chasing it, like of course like it reacts really fast and runs away and all of those things, and then later on it doesn't even think about that and it just like goes on. Versus humans, we can tap back into those emotions from the past and the future and create them in the present, and animals don't do that. They just like react and then they're like, okay, I'm back to normal. For us, like we react and then we think back to present and future. So I read this one part right here that I want to read to you guys. If we focus on unwanted past or the dreaded future, that means we live mostly in stress, in survival mode, whether we're obsessing over our health, the survival of the body, paying our mortgage, the survival need for shelter from external environment, or not having enough time to do what we need to survive. So those are the big three that we like stress about, which is the body, like is my body okay? Is my body safe? My environment, and then having enough time. So I read that and I was like, oh my God, I'm stressing about like two of those things, like my body, my physical body, like is it losing weight fast enough? Am I doing okay? And time, like am I going to be ready in time? And I'm focusing so much on the future that your body will create a physical response to it. And then next I read this part, the stress response and the hormones that it triggers forces us to focus on and obsess about the body, the environment, and time. As a result, we begin to define ourselves with the confines of the physical realm. We become less spiritual, less conscious, less aware, less mindful. Our identity becomes wrapped up in our bodies. We are absorbed by the outer world because it is what those chemicals force us to pay attention to. Things we own, people we know, places we have to go to, problems we face, our body, our weight, our looks in comparison to others. It's just, I was like, oh, that's exactly what I needed, because I know that the more that I sit here and stress about the future and put my body in that anxious and stressed state, not only does it affect the way that my physique looks, because, hold on, pause there for a sec. So when we put ourselves in that fight or flight system, our sympathetic nervous system is part of an autonomic nervous system, which maintains the body's automatic functions such as digestion, temperature regulation, blood sugar levels, etc. So all of that is getting effed with whenever we put ourselves in these states. You know, like I was talking about in a previous video, how when we like are imagining like the future, like you're imagining stepping on stage and how scary that would be, you start to get a little nervous, your body starts responding to it. And if you're constantly in that state, like it's just so unhealthy for your body. And that's one of the things that I struggle with the most, is unconsciously putting my body in that state when I don't need to be. And so I'm glad that I opened my book and I heard the exact message that I have. So if anyone is struggling with that too, with the weight, just know like I do too, you know? Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing a good job and that I need to be doing more. And that ends up being, the more that you stay in that state, that's where self-sabotage comes, where now you already feel like you're not doing a good job, and you feel like the weight is the proof that you're not doing a good job. So then what happens? You start to be less consistent, you start to fall off your routines, and you end up right back where you don't want to be, and you end up manifesting the thing that you said you didn't want anyways. The brain is wild, what we do to ourselves. So I wanted to share that with you, but we're getting ready to do cardio. My body's a little toasty today, but it's okay. We have, 3 more days of cardio left. Okay guys, so for cardio, we're starting out with hitting a mile on the treadmill in under 12 minutes. When I first got on there, my knees were not having it, but we pressed on and it got a little better as I continued. So we did this mile on speed 6 for the majority of the time. And then right after that, we moved to the Stairmaster for 40 minutes of steady state cardio. And on this, I stayed on level 4 to 5. Just like I have a morning routine, Vision has a morning routine. Every morning, I arrange my pillows nicely, and every morning, he likes to nuzzle them away and lay there like you didn't do anything wrong. You're so cute, though. What you doing, buddy? What you doing? You're just staring daggers at me. One thing about Vision is he will look you... He will look you directly in the eye, and he'll, like, if you look at him too long, he does this and he tries to fight you. Like mother, like son. Oh, you wanna fight? It's too early for that. You're so cute, you're so cute. Phase number 2, rolling around and digging in the bed. What you digging to? Where you digging to? Huh? Yeah, you was caught again. That's the face of a guilty doggy. Okay, y'all, I know in a past video I was telling you about how I was trying some new foundations. Also, you guys need to see this problem I have. Foundation, 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 foundation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have another one in there. I've been trying like all of these like this past like 6 months or so. And honestly, I love them all. NARS is a little bit more expensive. Born This Way is a little bit more expensive. And these 3 are drugstore. They're all like a soft matte. They're supposed to be full coverage. I would say if I was going to like rate them, oh, this is hard. I like this one a lot. This one's really good, very inexpensive. However, I noticed that like when I'm at the gym, because I always wear test them at the gym to really get my feedback on them. When I wear this to the gym, when it starts to come off, it comes off in like a patchy kind of way. So you know how some foundation is more like it comes off in like a melty way? And this one, it'll be like a patch. Like there'll be like little white patches. So I don't like that about this one, but it's still a really good one. These 2, I've been mixing because this one, the color isn't quite good. The NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And then the Milani Conceal and Perfect. I'd say out of all 3 of these, the Milani Conceal and Perfect is the best one. It's a 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I still use concealer because because I want brightness under my eyes and I don't want to put this dark foundation. This match is so nice on my skin tone. So I've been loving it and I wanted to test a little bit how this is today. So I would say in order, it's the Milani one, the NYX one, and then this one. And I would say for these 2, this one and then this one. So the NARS and then the Born This Way. The Born This Way is gorgeous, but it's not as full coverage as I want it to be. This one is a little bit more full coverage, but what I've noticed is that sometimes I might have the wrong tone, so it might be a little bit too dark, but I'm loving them, guys. They're really inexpensive. So if you're like me and you like matte foundation, I think that you would like some of those like inexpensive ones because I have been trying to just, save a little bit of money and be like, well, I don't always have to buy like an expensive ass one. And I've been using the Milani in these past couple of videos and it's been looking great. Like I don't really see much of a difference and it's been lasting really well in the gym versus the really expensive one. So give those a try. Okay guys, we are ready to go. I needed to get ready for the day because we're going to the dentist. Anybody else hate going to the dentist? It's like, why do we have to do this? I hate going to the dentist. I've been putting it off for such a long time, I get like regular cleanings, but this cleaning I had to push a little bit further just because I was like, I don't want to fucking go. Like, I don't want to go. And it's all the way like up north in Austin. It's like 35 to 45 minute drive depending on what time. So it's like a big chunk of the day. So I had to plan it accordingly, but we just got to get her done. But I started getting some check-in stuff from my coach back. So like the way that it updates on my app is like it'll send me notifications like your cardio plan was adjusted, your nutrition plan was adjusted, your supplement plan was adjusted. So I've been getting those, and I'm just waiting to like look at it before he sends me a Loom video, because he'll send me a Loom of like going over my plan and my check-in and explaining like what we're changing. So I'm just waiting for that so that I can get it to you guys. But I already saw some of the things that are changing, and I'm like, okay. I think the cardio and steps has been changed, maybe upped a little bit. One thing I do know about my body, it really responds well to higher amounts of cardio. That's just how it is for me, which is so great. But yeah, so that's a little update. I also just filmed this Instagram video, this reel with Vision. You probably have already seen it on my Instagram by the time you watch this, but if you haven't, go look at it. But it's like a audio from the movie White Chicks, and it's like, hold my poodle, hold my poodle. Go look at it. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. But he was such a trooper because I had to hold him while I did it. And he was like, what is going on? He loves to be held. So it was easy to trick him into doing a video with me, because he's like, oh, mommy's holding me. It was so cute. He was a trooper. But we're going to go to the dentist, come back, eat our pre-workout meal, and then go train with my trainer. Okay, guys, we're back from the dentist. My teeth are clean. Do they look clean? So my dentist appointment was like exactly, ew, there's a hair. It's okay, it's my hair. My dentist appointment was exactly at 11. So that's when my meal 2 was. So I'm like in between that time between meal number 2 and meal number 3. So I'm just combining them, I'm gonna be honest. So I have meal number 3 right here, which is pre-workout meal number 2. Meal number 2 is chicken, veggies, and some avocado, and my pre-workout is cream of rice and a scoop of protein powder, which I already chugged. I am feeling utterly exhausted. It's been officially a full week on these lower calories, and I think my body now is just catching up to me and is like, you haven't eaten since 8 a.m. We are dying, and it's like almost 1 o'clock right now. So I feel like I'll feel a little bit better after and he's like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense, you know? So it was my bad, like not being super detailed with my check-in with my coach, because I'm just like, yeah, like I'm good, everything's fine, like I can handle it. But like when you have a coach, and this is something I do with my clients with our one-on-one coaching, like you need to be as detailed as possible with like stress, anxiety, your bowel movements, sleep quality, if you're feeling watery, if you're feeling inflamed, digestion, like all of these things are so important to your weight loss and your overall health. So yeah, we message a little bit back and forth, and he's like, yeah, I'm glad that you like noticed that, realized that. He's like, just make sure to be, you know, tell me more. And I'm like, I will. So we're gonna eat this, and then we're gonna do my workout. I'm really excited to do it, even though I'm tired, but this is a perfect day to have somebody that's training me, and this is why I do it, because I am feeling kind of crappy, and I feel like if I were to go do my workout, of course I'm still gonna give it my all, but it'd be nice to have someone there to like, to push me, and I don't have to think about it. So I will see you in a little bit while we get ready for the gym. Okay, y'all, it's time to go to the gym. If I fell asleep, there was probably no chance of me waking up. So this is Buff Chick's new restocked flavor of iced tea lemonade, and it's so good. Like, you know when some pre-workouts are like, they're too sweet and they're too artificially flavored, and you kind of like, blech. This is absolutely perfect. I love it so much. It's my new favorite flavor. I feel like every time they come out with something new, I'm like, how did you guys top the last one you did? Like, I don't understand, but code Julia Rene if you want to save 10%. Goodbye, little cozy boy. You gonna take a night-night You thought mommy was gonna take a nap. He was laying down with me and he's like, okay, we're relaxing. And then I just got up and he was like, where'd you go? Okay, we are here and I don't want to go in. I don't want to do my workout today. But we're going to. We're going to anyways, okay? If you don't want to do your workout today, you have to now because I did, okay? I have 2 minutes until I have to be there and I'm stalling. It's literally a hop and a skip away. My soreness from my back day, my upper body day is setting in, which is crazy because I only do 2 exercises that are back focused on my upper body day. But I guess I was pushing like really, really hard, which I don't necessarily need to on my upper body days because I'm not really trying to build. We're just trying to maintain, you know, so. And I'm having an overwhelming urge to satisfy this feeling that I have of tiredness to go shopping at Sephora. Maybe that will solve all my problems. No! It's leg day! So first, Dred started me with a little warm-up by supersetting glute focus split squats and light RDLs. So I went back and forth between these 2 3 times, not really focusing on pushing too much weight, but rather feeling everything in my glutes and hamstrings. After this, we moved into a superset of single leg seated curls and single leg standing curls. We started with 12 reps on each leg for the seated curls, then immediately going over to the standing curl and doing 12 half reps on each leg. After that, then I would rest about 1.5 to 2 minutes, and we're gonna do that 3 times total. On the last set of the 12 seated curls, we're going to use both feet and do a double drop set. So I completed my reps as normal and then dropped the weight lighter, doing 10 half reps, dropping the weight lighter again, and then doing another 10 half reps. I was pretty toasted by this point, I'm not gonna lie. Next, we're moving on to some good mornings on a machine. So we're doing 3 sets of 12 here. My focus here was to keep my legs almost straight with like a micro bend in my knees and really pushing my glutes back to the wall behind me and then squeezing through my glutes on the way up. My butt was literally shaking on these. I don't know if you guys can tell in the video, but I was like trembling and I didn't even do that much weight, honestly. Then we're gonna move into another superset. Well, actually, we're gonna move into some 21s. So it's like 3 sets in 1 set. So basically we're doing 3 sets of 21s on the lying leg curl. So that means that I'm gonna do 7 reps at the bottom range. So it's very tiny range of motion. Then I'm gonna do 7 reps at the top range of the leg curl, and then 7 reps full range. I was toasted. Like I can feel my hamstrings literally bubbling up and getting so thick. And then lastly, we did 3 sets of 12 on each leg for some kickbacks with a smaller range of motion. So you can see that I started doing it traditionally, and then he started directing me to kick my foot right back up as soon as my toe touched the ground. So it's almost like my toe touches the ground, I kick back up. So it's a really small range of motion, and this allowed me to really feel it in my upper glute. So I definitely recommend you give it a try. I'm in pain. Damn. I'm like Delulu. So good, guys. Like if you, damn, it was a very, I feel fucking a little delirious, but in a good way. Like there's just something about training like with different people. Like I've had different coaches like in my life. I've trained with different people. I have had different bodybuilding coaches. I have different personal trainers. I've had different posers, and like it is so good. And just I've worked out with like a lot of other like fitness people in the bodybuilding space, and it's just so nice to do that, because like sometimes you get stuck in the same way that you do things, and it's so nice to like broaden your horizons and learn from, you know, multiple people. And I think that's really cool, because like when you're having someone watching you train, like sometimes they can see different things that you can't see on your physique. And especially like that last movement we did with the kickbacks where he was having me, he's like, okay, let's do a smaller range of motion where right when your toe touches the ground, you just go back up. And I would have never thought to do that, but I felt it so much. And we were doing like 12.5 pounds on it to start, and it's just like that small range of motion was such a good finisher to target that upper glute. And I'm so happy, and I feel so much better because I came into this workout feeling so crappy. And this is why I enjoy having somebody to train with when I'm like this low in calories, like my cardio like I'm losing, you know, when I start to lose motivation, because like they help me get the motivation back, which is awesome. So I encourage you guys, if you're able to do something like that. But that was incredible. We're gonna head home or go to Sephora, but honestly, there's nothing I need from Sephora. But I do need to get my mom a Mother's Day present. Maybe I'll do that, we'll see. All right, we're home. I stopped at Whole Foods and grabbed some cabbage. So I have that over there and this over here waiting to go into the oven. And all I put on it was literally, here, let me show you. So I use this olive oil spray. I spray a little, hold on, focus. Why aren't you focusing? Well, this thing that won't focus, which is olive oil spray. And then I spray a little bit on the rest and like scrunch it in. And all I did was put salt and garlic on it, and I bake it at 400 for about 35 minutes. Guys, it is so delish, and I wanted to have this fresh for dinner. All right, let's check on these bad boys. Woo! So I like to take out both of them halfway, and then kind of give it a little mix in a zhuzh, and then swap them. So the one that was on the bottom on the top, and the one that was on the top on the bottom. So see how it gets so much like smaller, like it shrinks in size. It's kind of like, you know how like when you cook spinach, it gets smaller? Okay, we have about 10, 12 minutes left. So this one goes on the bottom. This one goes on the top. And we're good. All right, we have our post-workout meal. Oh, I forgot my protein powder. So I do another scoop of protein powder. I've been using, these have been my top two that I've been using right now. I ran out of the s'mores one, so I'm sad about that because that one's actually my favorite. And then I'd say the fudge brownie flavor. And honestly, strawberry milkshake is so good. And I'm not usually like, I'm a chocolate girly. I love chocolate. You ask me what ice cream flavor I want, it's like anything with chocolate inside the chocolate, with maybe brownies on it, with chocolate syrup on it. That was low-key a beat. So, we're gonna do the fudge brownie. It's so good. Their flavors are just like freaking incredible. Like everything that they do flavor-wise is like so on point. And like, I have tried a lot of supplements, obviously. I've been in the industry for such a long time. And for such a long time, it really hasn't been that long. And I've tried a lot of flavors with things. And you know how sometimes like the flavors taste like too flavory? Where it's like, there's like an aftertaste or they don't taste flavory enough, where it's like, this literally tastes like you dipped a tiny dose of flavor. Like if the flavor were a tea bag, you would have like dunked it once. Does that make sense? You guys get me, y'all get me. But yeah, fudge brownie. I literally have protein powder on my boob and face. That's just being a bodybuilder. It's so good. And on my low carb days, which are Wednesdays and Sundays, which are my rest days. On those days, in the evening, I think my last meal of the day is like a little bit of chocolate. It's actually, I got chocolate on my meal plan. A little bit of chocolate and then a protein shake. So what I do with the protein shake is I'll use the fudge brownie one, and then I use this product called xanthan gum, which is a thickening agent by Bob's Red Mills, I think. It's a thickening agent, and I put some ice in it, and then it like thickens it up, and then I put it in one of these Zach had these when we first started living together and first started dating, so they've just traveled with us, and it like freezes it even more, and the thickening agent makes it like even thicker so that it like feels like I'm eating ice cream. But I've been loving the cream of rice. Like it's so good. It's just a little hard to get the texture right because it gets like super thick. But last and final update. So when I updated you before, we were doing the mile run first. So this is the cardio update. We were doing the mile run with 40 minutes of steady state cardio. So the mile run, my heart rate could be anywhere between like 165 and like 175 or something. And then my target heart rate for the steady state Stairmaster is 135. So that's what my cardio was, and it was 5 times a week. Now we're doing it 6 times a week, and we have added 10 minutes to the steady state cardio. So now we're doing the mile run with 50 minutes of steady state Stairmaster, which honestly, like for me, is very easy. Like I've gotten very good at doing cardio. Like I enjoy going to do it. So that's not what's challenging for me. I think what's challenging is the added day, like in total, that we're gonna do. So we're gonna be doing it 6 times a week. So I just have to be, I have to rearrange my schedule and make sure that that's a priority. So secondly, the meal plan is staying the same because we wanna give it 7 to 14 days in order for my body to respond. And that's usually how long it can take to how your body to respond for any adjustments. And then there's a chance, because like I was messaging my coach about like, how stressed I was stressing out my body. There's a chance that next week we're going to add like a cortisone something supplement. I probably am saying it wrong, but to help reduce cortisol levels, because that's something that it could be wildly unmanaged during bodybuilding prep. But yeah, those are the updates, and I'll let you know next week how I'm feeling with that added cardio and how my body is responding. I'm really excited. When I did go to my training session today with Dredd, he was like, "You're looking leaner than you did last week." Like, that's crazy. So it's really cool that I get to see him every check-in day, because then he can also be like, "Oh, like you're looking leaner." And because sometimes you look at your own body and you're like, nothing has changed. I look at this body every single day. So that's gonna be all for today's video, guys. I love you all so much, and you are more powerful than you think. Bye.